Look at that shot. I mean, can we? Look at that shot. I mean, can we give it up for our production program? Is this? What's up, Frank? How's it going? Let me go live on TikTok too. Just getting everything set up. Let me turn on my light. Have you guys been watching the fights? That's hard. I kind of think like Bellator is gonna be beating most of the PFL fighters. I think there's gonna be a couple of Bellator fighters that will win, but I think the majority Bellator will win. And that's how it's been so far tonight, right? Just on the main card. I think both Bellator fighters won. All right. Up next, we have Bruno versus Vadim. Who do you guys have for this one? I don't know these fighters very well, but I'm obviously going to go for the PFL fighter. A lot of people think that the championship should never change hands on a close decision. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, if it goes 5 rounds and it was a decision, I think whoever gets the decision should get the belt. What do you think about that, Frank? What is Bob doing? Sleeping? Is he missing the event between the PFL and Bellator? No, he's awake. He's happy. He's doing great. Also, it's driving me nuts. My pay-per-view is like skipping, and it will like go back and it will repeat itself. So if my stream is a little bit off from yours, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know how to stop it from skipping. Frank thinks it should be a one-sided or finish. That's hard. You dare me to try the arm wrestle challenge. What's the arm wrestle challenge? What's up, Javi? All right, who do you guys have for this one? Bruno or Vadim? Vadim is a pretty heavy favorite on the betting, so Frank has Vadim. All right. Okay, I'm awful and I haven't been paying attention. Are these 5 rounds or are these 3 rounds? I'm pretty sure the last fight only went 3 rounds, and then the fight before that ended in the first, so I didn't pay attention. 3 rounds? Okay. But good news, they're lucky. They can throw elbows on this one. Normally in the PFL, you can't throw elbows, so... Have you noticed a step up in competition since you signed with PFL? Who is somebody you would like to fight in 2024? Well, now that PFL and Bellator have combined, the roster is much, much more competitive, and there's a lot more talent. I mean, we have like Liz Carmouche now. We have that Dakota girl who's in England. She's a PFL fighter. But there are a lot of really, really good females at my division now. And I may already have a fight signed, so stay tuned. Yeah, Clay fought. He lost first round by submission. I didn't watch it, though. I turned my pay-per-view on right when it was like finishing and they were raising the hands, so kind of a bummer. What tips can you give bouncing back after a close loss? How do you plan on approaching your next fight? So if you guys watched my last fight, I would say it was a bad decision by the judges. I thought I won. But I definitely could have done a little bit more to secure the win. So for this next fight, I'm definitely going to be more aggressive. I'm going to be throwing my hands more, maybe shooting takedowns. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to be putting more output out there. So it will be an obvious decision and not a split decision. So that will be my goal. I'm going to be much more aggressive. But bouncing back after a close loss, I think like the biggest thing that you can do is just like remind yourself that you're a good fighter. It was a close fight. And if you would have done a little bit more, then you could have gotten the win. So put that mindset into practice and try to throw a little bit more, be more aggressive, be a little bit more active. Nice spinning kick. Okay. Do you train jiu-jitsu in the gi? No, I don't. I mainly just do no gi. And by mainly, I mean I've never actually trained in a gi before. Bob is definitely enjoying the fights. He is pumped. Big PFL fan. Travis says hello from Utah. Hello from Utah. What part of Utah are you in? Didn't you have one of your first fights in Spanish Fork? I think I was at the fight Jordan fought in. Yes, I did fight my first professional fight in Spanish Fork. Northern Utah. Nice. Vadim has really good striking. He's a big boy. Ooh, nice 1-2 head kick. 30 seconds left of the first round. Ooh, these. I feel like Vadim doesn't fight like a heavyweight. I feel like he like moves like he's in a smaller weight class. Ooh. And he's really good at spinning kicks. Okay. What's up, Greg versus Bob? What's up, Greg? Welcome to the party. I am not in Salt Lake City. I'm in Utah County. Okay. Can having too much confidence before a fight impact someone negatively? What do you think is the key to taking your opponent's confidence and turning it into motivation? So I do think that like if you're too confident going into a fight, you can maybe overlook the opponent. I've done that before. I think I did that in my last fight. Like I feel like I could have beat that girl any day. And so I kind of didn't go into the mindset to kill. I kind of overlooked her a little bit. So that was an unfortunate mistake on my behalf. So I do think it's important to respect your opponent, but also be confident in your ability. So there's a good balance there. The Judo Queen has signed. What do you think about Kayla Harrison signing to the UFC? I think she belongs in the UFC. I think it will keep things exciting in the UFC. Maybe it will bring Amanda Nunes back. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's a good move for her. So congratulations to Kayla for signing with the UFC. I can't figure if you want to be on here, IG, or TikTok. Greg, stay on Millions because I look at the comments on Millions and I will chat with you there. I probably won't be looking at the comments on Instagram because it's in a different browser. And I might be looking at comments on TikTok though. So if you're watching from TikTok or Instagram, I'm doing a live stream on Millions. So if you want to go to the link in my bio and get on the live stream on Millions, and if you want to chat back and forth and ask me more questions, I will for sure answer your questions if you ask it on Millions. I'm not like 100% guaranteeing that I'll answer it on Instagram or TikTok. What is the toughest thing about a weight cut during fight week? So the toughest thing for me is a couple days before I cut out sodium and carbs. So I eat 4 ounces of chicken and 6 almonds 3 times a day, and it's unsalted. I still season it, but it's like unsalted seasoning. So it's not just bland. Ooh, he just caught him. Bruno just caught Vadim. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry if my live stream is off or my pay-per-view because it keeps like glitching. So if I'm excited about something that happened like a minute behind yours, that's why it just keeps glitching for some reason. Okay. So anyways, back to my weight cut. So I eat 3 ounces of chicken and 6 almonds 3 times a day for like 2 to 3 days. And that just makes it so the water just like drains out of my body. So I can do like a water cut so I don't have to sweat as much out the night before or the day of. But that is pretty miserable. But other than that, my weight cuts haven't been super tough. Fingers crossed. I'm pretty good at dieting. Can we see those biceps? Okay, one time, and that is it. This is the only time. Dang it, I missed the finish. Here's my bicep. I don't know if you can see it. No onion rings? No. No onion rings. Onion rings aren't really my food of choice anyway. All right. Somebody fill me in on how... Oh, here's the finish. Here's the replay. Vadim gets the double leg. Smashes him. Arm triangle for mount. Ooh, Bruno's bleeding pretty bad. Nice. Bellator is going for a full sweep tonight. Ooh, we'll see if PFL can win one. Let's see if I can guess anybody from PFL that could win. I mean, all Bellators are the betting favorite. Maybe Raynan Ferreira can beat Ryan Bader. We'll see. I don't know. Impa can, I don't know if he'll beat Johnny Eblin. Shoot. Looks like Bellator might be a clean sweep over the PFL. Yikes. What is it like training with Vince Morales? How do you know Vince? He is so fun. He's a funny guy, high energy. He moves around a lot, so if I ever spar with him, you just have to know that he's going to be moving all over the place. And I really like being on the same mats as him because he's just like positive energy, such a fun guy. And his fiance Shino is one of my main training partners, and I really like training with her. So I really like Vince. He's cool. What's up, Avery? Unfortunately, it seems like Volk is on the downside of his career after last week's tough loss. What are your thoughts on Ileana Topuria? Do you think he has a future of the 145 division? Yeah, I mean, after that performance, he definitely is like the real deal. I don't know if Volk is really on like the down. Like he got knocked out twice, but I still think he can come back. I don't know. He was like a champion like 2 fights before that, right? I don't know. So it's not like he's completely down and out. Just like a short time ago, he was the champ. So I wouldn't count him out. But I do think the guy who knocked him out is definitely on the up and up and will probably take over the 145 division. That'd be an interesting fight between him and Aljo. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Greg asked, can I order some roasted gloves? I don't know what roasted means. What do you mean by roasted? You want me to quickly, like, stir fry them real quick on the stove? Hobby says, you are PFL savior. Get in there, Kaytlin. I will soon, Hobby. You read that Brock Lesnar is no longer with WWE and any UFC MMA sports. Oh, why not? Does he have a reason for that? Avery says, hello from South Jordan. Well, hello from American Fork. What's up, Rob? Rob says, where can I get a shirt like Bob's? Well, since you're on Millions, if you scroll down, you should see this exact shirt that you can purchase. It also comes in a hoodie, and there's a couple other merch items that I have out, and I am fighting soon, so you do want to grab it now so you can have it for when I fight, and you can wear it for when I'm fighting. So if you guys are watching on TikTok or on Instagram or on Twitter or on YouTube, hop on to Millions through the link in my bio and come chat with me on Millions, and I'll make sure to answer your comments and questions. And also you can shop my gear. And you will be also, if you follow me on Millions, you'll be the first to know when I am doing a live stream or if I have events or if I drop any merch or signed gear. After my fights, typically I'll like sell my gloves that are autographed on Millions. So it's a pretty fun follow, and you can follow a bunch of athletes on here. Henry Cejudo's on here. We have other athletes, not just MMA fighters, so it's a fun platform to be on. So hop on over to Millions. Leland just figured out the older you get, the worse hangovers are. I'm sorry, Leland, that you figured that out. I've actually never been hungover, so I don't know. Oh, the champs get a throne, huh? Interesting. They go give them a belt and sit them down on a throne. That arena in Saudi Arabia is insane. That is such a cool arena. I wish I was fighting at it. And I guess the hotel that they had the fighters stay at was like immaculate. And when they first signed into the hotel, they gave them like a bouquet of flowers and stuff. It sounds like they're treating like the fighters and the coaches really well there. What's up, Arthur? What's up, Limin? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Limin, maybe. Are you going to watch the UFC Fight Night Mexico tonight? I don't think I will be. Maybe. I'll probably have them on. Who knows? It depends what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing tonight yet. But I will be doing another live stream March 9th for UFC 299, so that one will be exciting. Arthur says, do you even UFC, bro? Nah, bro, I train PFL. What fight are you most looking forward to at UFC 300 and why? I have to look at the card. I don't know who's fighting on UFC 300. We got Alex Prep versus Jamal Hill. Oh, Zhang Weili. Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway. That fight is the one I'm most excited for. Charles Oliveira, Kiri versus Alexander, Calvin versus Aljo. Got Cody Garbrandt versus Figueredo. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison? Okay, that one. I'm going to have to say Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison and Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. That one's going to be an insane fight. So those are the ones I'm most excited for. What fights are you excited for, Frank? You watched the Clarissa Shields versus Kelsey fight. How did you think it went? I didn't get to watch it. I was at sparring. I was sparring today, and then I hurried and drove home and set everything up for the live stream and showered. And then I turned it on, and right when I turned on the pay-per-view, Clay Collard had just fought. So that's the fight I got at. I saw that Clarissa Shields won, but I didn't see how. Mike Scott says, I was just looking at that shirt the other day. I will probably order that one. It's pretty sweet. Right there. It says, the odds are in my favor. There we go. The odds are in my favor. Because I'm Katniss, you know. I also have a really cool shirt where I'm like throwing a knee. And that one turned out pretty cool too. And it has like a bunch of it says Katniss on the back. So I think that one's cool one too. Arthur said, I tried your magic mic move, but it didn't work. If you guys saw my reel that I posted yesterday, I posted a reel that it's how you counter butt scooters. And Arthur, you probably just did it wrong because it's a really good, legit move. Gaethje Holloway for BMF belt. Is there a specific age for sports? I think you have to be over 18 to fight in an MMA fight in the US, but I think you can fight in other countries younger. But I would recommend just starting as young as possible so you could get like a good background and a good base. I didn't start till I was 20 years old, so I feel like I'm just like currently peaking now. But I would say start as young as possible and then compete when you can. Did you see Merab versus Henry fight? And do you think Merab beats Sean O'Malley? Yeah, I think Merab beats Sean O'Malley. I don't think Sean O'Malley will knock out Merab like Sean thinks he will. I'm just a big Merab fan, and he is one of my teammates at Syndicate MMA, so he trains hard. He is just exhausting. He has amazing wrestling, judo, all of that. I think Merab just tosses Sean O'Malley around. What's up, Amin? What are your thoughts on rehydration supplements such as Liquid IV? Do they really work? Would you recommend them for an average person after a workout? So it depends on what workout you're doing. Like if you're doing just a weight training session and you're doing like biceps or arms or something, you probably don't need it. But if you're doing a workout, maybe legs, or you're pushing the sled, doing cardio, you are really like exerting yourself, then they definitely can help. So if you're sweating a lot, yes, they're good. If you aren't really sweating that much, maybe they're not like necessary, but I do like Liquid IV. I like it after I cut weight. I like that. I like Body Armor too. I think Body Armor is my preferred. It's less salty tasting than Liquid IV. So I really like Body Armors after I weigh in. I also like Rockstar Recoveries. But if you're just an average person working out and you sweat a lot during your workouts, then yeah, they can be helpful. If you don't get super sweaty, then maybe that's not something that you need. You could just have a little bit of salt on your food. Mike Scott, if I ever went against Ryan Gordon, I would do my butt scooting defense technique. And I would pray that it would just throw him off and be like, what is this girl doing? And then maybe I could get it. I don't know. Just kidding. I would never do that. Would you ever fight John Jones or Francis Ngannou, and how fast would you finish them? I appreciate your confidence in me. I will just say I will not fight them because they're probably like 100 pounds bigger than me. And I'd probably get knocked out pretty quick. Wow. Zippy just said, if the entire world and everyone in it was a huge bag of Starburst, you would be the strawberry. Thank you. That is the best compliment I've received all day. What is your rank in BJJ? I am a purple belt, but it took me 6 years to get my blue belt, and it took me 6 years to get my purple belt. So I didn't really test for belts as often as I should have probably. And then when I was testing for blue belts, whenever they would do the tests, I would be injured. And so I couldn't test at that time. And so I was just like, whatever. I don't really care about belts. I just want to be good at it. So I didn't really chase belts that much, but I'm a purple belt currently. I think after I am done with MMA, I will definitely like be more intentional about like earning my black belt. But eventually I do want to get a black belt. What energy drink is that? This is Alani Nu, their new flavor, Cherry Twist. I don't really like it, so I don't recommend getting it. But I do like their Cosmic Stardust flavor. That one is my favorite. They also have like a blue raspberry. Okay. We got Cooper versus Jackson up right now. Oh. Jackson is much taller than Cooper. Ooh, nice calf kick by Jackson. That looked like it hurt. Ouch. If you could learn any new skill or hobby tomorrow, what would it be? That is a great question. I don't know. I don't know what I would want to learn. I think maybe a new language. I would like to learn like Spanish, just so when I travel, I can like communicate easier. I think that could be fun. I don't know if that's a hobby, but I think you could turn it into a hobby, like use a little app. Mike Scott says body armor and vitamin water are my go-to after training. I do like vitamin water. I haven't had one in years though. Body armor is my number one because it's really good. Even their light flavors don't taste like the artificial sugar, so that's why I like them. So I don't necessarily like the sugar. I'd rather eat like a donut to get sugar. But I do like their light flavors. I think the strawberry banana is my favorite, or their tropical one. Hobby says, don't chase belts, just Potato. We'll see if Potato wants to make an appearance today on the live stream. Who knows? She's a diva, so we'll see. Oh! Cooper is swinging and flopping. He's throwing his full body into those punches. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit desperate against Jackson. And Jackson takes him down against the cage. Frank says, I'm actually really excited to see Kayla fight Holly. Who do you think is going to win? My MMA heart says Holly Holm. I love Holly Holm. I really want her to win. But I don't know. I'm a fan of Kayla, so it's kind of hard for me, but I think Holly Holm will win. I think she's a little bit more well-rounded than Kayla is. I think Holly Holm is really good at defending takedowns, striking, breaking off, keeping her distance, and I don't think Kayla's judo is going to be able to defend all of that from Holly. I think Holly just has like better stand-up defense, I guess. Body Armor has a black cherry one and it's good. I'll have to try that. I actually haven't tried that one. Ibrahim said, I started Kung Fu when I was 10, but I stopped at 15. I actually am now 20. What's your advice to me? And maybe I want to start in MMA. I would recommend just finding a gym and starting. That Kung Fu background is like gives you a good base for MMA. It gives you like a good athleticism, and hopefully like you competed a little bit so you understand how to compete. But just go find an MMA gym, start training, and learn as much as you can. You'll learn other disciplines, and I think that'll be a good base for you. All right, round one. Jackson obviously won that round. Obviously. Ooh, someone says barbecue or tacos. I'm going to have to go with tacos. What about you guys? Barbecue or tacos? Arthur, Greg, Frank, Mike, barbecue or tacos? Avery says barbecue. Arthur says tacos. What kind of tacos? I like shrimp tacos. Asada or shrimp. Those are my go-to. Chicken tacos, says Mike. Greg, what do you got? Barbecue or tacos? Avery, what kind of barbecue do you like? Ooh, Hobby says, I think Kayla makes weight, but she's never fought at 135. That's a good point. She's going to have to fight at 135 for the first time ever in the UFC. That's a little bit intimidating, but it's all right. Ooh, Jackson got the finish. I think my pay-per-view just glitched. I am so annoyed with my pay-per-view. Pay $50 and it keeps glitching. Greg, what kind of barbecue do you like? Avery says brisket for the win? Brisket, really? I like cornbread, barbecue chicken, but I would pick tacos. Taco Bell is bringing back the Choco Taco for a limited time. Wow, Greg. They also have a new 2024 menu coming out, and it looks awesome. They have chicken nuggets on the menu. I don't know if I'll get those, but they have like a chalupa thing that looks amazing that I will definitely try. Ew, those leg kicks from Jackson look... Ouch. Cooper is going to have a hard time walking on that leg for probably like 2 weeks. Like, it's going to bug him for a minute. Dude, Bellator is destroying PFL right now. Destroying. Oh, those leg kicks, jeez. Christopher, what's up? Christopher, we've been asking everyone on the stream, barbecue or tacos? Who is winning? Jason Jackson just beat Ray Cooper. He landed a really hard leg kick, dropped Ray Cooper in round 2, and then TKO'd him. So he got the win. So far, Bellator is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 tonight on the main card. Will PFL pull out one? I don't know. Ooh. Guru071770 said Al Pastor tacos all day. I like asada. Shrimp or asada. All right. Greg says barbecue sauce is just the source of good. Christopher says barbecue. What kind of barbecue, Christopher? Greg says food. My phone is being evil. Why is it being evil? Barbecue has to be included. Oh, barbecue has to include mac and cheese and coleslaw. That's true. Barbecue does have coleslaw. Or no, I mean mac and cheese. I don't care about coleslaw. I will not eat that. Like, not my thing. Mac and cheese, definitely my thing. Love mac and cheese. How about both? Brisket, tacos, Javi. You are smart. But I'd rather have asada. Can you say hi to my friend Gina? She's a huge fan. Hi, Gina. How's it going? Korean barbecue. Oh, Christopher just switching things up a little bit there. I like the Korean barbecue places where you can go and like kind of like cook your own food. That's fun. How many calories in tacos? It depends on the taco. It can range anywhere between like 150 to like probably like 1,000 calories, depending on the size and what you put in there and what sauces you put on. What's up, Jordan? Welcome to this stream. We are asking everybody, barbecue or tacos? Oh, Javi says, have you had horchata? Yes, I have, and I love it. I'm actually a big quesadilla person. Like, if I'm going to get Mexican food, I love quesadillas. That is always my number one pick, but then I'm like, ooh, do I want to feel gross afterwards? How much cheese do they put on the quesadilla? And then sometimes I'll just get tacos because it's a little bit lighter on my stomach. Mike says, barbecue chicken tacos with avocado. That sounds good. The avocado on top. Jordan says steak tacos for sure. Good call, Jordan. Mike says Taco Bell burritos can have like 400 to 500 calories a piece. Yeah. Mike says queso dip and chips. That's a yes for me. Love queso. I love spicy salsa and queso. Alex says pork tacos, but it's close. Are you watching the UFC tonight? I don't know if I'm going to watch the UFC. I might. We'll see. I have to double check the card and see who's fighting, but so far, I'm enjoying the PFL fights. You might put money on Bader if Evelyn wins against Impa. I mean, it's not going to be a bad bet if all of Bellator has beaten all of the PFL fighters so far. But of course, I wouldn't take any of my betting advice because we know how my picks turn out. They never turn out well. If you could meet any celebrity or public figure, living or dead, who would it be and why? I think it would be Jennifer Lawrence, just because my nickname is Katniss, and so I think it would be cool to like actually meet her in person. And she seems like a nice, like funny person, so I think I'd get along with her. So it would probably be Jennifer Lawrence. All right. The only fights in the UFC seem interesting are Yair versus Ortega and Moreno versus Royval rematches. I like Moreno. He's one of my favorite fighters. Ooh, Frank says, what is your 2024 New Year's resolution and how do you plan on achieving it? I think my resolution, so I made like a couple. One is to buy a house. I'm already like taking steps to do that. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year. Second resolution is to win all of my MMA fights this year. And so I have been training pretty hard and consistently, and I think we'll be good. Be good to go. Jordan thinks Moreno and Yair win. I think I'm saying his name right. I'm not sure. You don't think Ortega's going to win? He hasn't been in the cage in like over a year, so I don't think he'll win either. Clarissa won by decision. It was incredible. Clarissa used her boxing skills and Kelsey used her jiu-jitsu skills. Clarissa started the fight by hard punches, then Kelsey started to use her jiu-jitsu skills, and it was so close to the finish. The fight, she was so close to finish the fight by armbar, but the resistance, Clarissa didn't allow her, and first round finish, and second completely dominated Clarissa by hard punches. The first half of the third round. Clarissa so close to finish. Sounds like it was a close back and forth fight. I'm kind of sad I missed it. And the commentators even said how good that fight was. They're like, if you missed it, go back and watch it because it was good. So maybe I'll go back and watch it. I was kind of bummed I was at sparring when that fight was going on. Pete said, I'd let you ruin my credit score. Well, Pete, I have an immaculate credit score, and I'm really good at using cash to buy things instead of credit. Hello from Iowa. Hello from Utah. What's up? Jordan says, I wasn't here when you were talking about Kayla Harrison versus Holly Holm. I got Holly Holm too. I think she's just like a little bit more skilled than Kayla, and I think she'll be able to stop Kayla's judo. And I don't think Kayla's striking is quite as good as Holly Holm's. Frank says, what is the best tip you can give for a high school student looking to pursue a career in MMA? I think just start training now. Start learning the basics, get everything down, have a solid base. I would also definitely say do wrestling. I think wrestlers do much, much better in MMA. So I would say do high school wrestling, try to get into college wrestling. Also get into like a kickboxing gym so you can learn striking, but I would focus a lot on wrestling because I do think wrestlers do really, really well in MMA and it translates really well. Have you ever visited Egypt? No, but I really want to go. I think that would be so fun to go see the pyramids and stuff. That was definitely on my bucket list. Mike says he's also a cash guy. That's a good mindset. I listen to too much Dave Ramsey to use debt. Avery said, add financial literacy to the list of things I love about you. Thank you, Avery. A lot of athletes, I feel like, get a lot of money and then they just kind of blow it. And so I definitely don't want to do that. I invest and I try to make good decisions financially. So what aspect of being a professional fighter is the hardest, and why do you think it makes it the toughest? I think kind of... I think just being on the roller coaster of fighting, like it's kind of hard. Like when you're winning and you're on a win streak and everyone thinks you're awesome, and then all of a sudden like you lose like a fight or two and then people think you're awful and they tell you to quit. It's like pushing through those moments where you're like, no, I'm actually a good fighter. I just lost a fight. Like it's not letting that define you. So I think it's basically how you handle your losses. And I think that's kind of the hardest. Still believing in yourself, still showing up to the gym, still putting in the work. I think that's probably the toughest because like you are out there in a cage and so many people are just like criticizing you off of one performance. And it can get pretty tough sometimes. It's awesome when you're winning, but it's really tough when you are losing. So people can be brutal, especially online. You're all the way in Egypt. What time is it there? And thank you for being a fan. If I ever go to Egypt, I will definitely let you know. I don't have any plans to anytime soon, but hopefully within the next 10 years. All right, we got Impo walking out. Can he do it for the PFL? Can he do it? Please let one PFL fighter win. Avery says, seriously, come with me to the UFC pay-per-view in Salt Lake City in July. There might even be asada tacos in the cards. That's very tempting. I will consider it. Are you fighting again? I should be fighting soon, so just stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram. I'll post more about it there, but hopefully soon. It's 11:50 p.m. in Egypt now. Are you watching the PFL versus Bellator fights? Or are you just hanging out on my live stream? Either way, thanks for staying up. That is past my bedtime. How do you feel women's MMA has evolved during your career, and where do you see it heading in the future? I feel like women's MMA has definitely evolved a ton. Like when I first started, women weren't even allowed in the UFC, which is insane to say, like to even think about. The skill has gotten better. A lot of the girls at the beginning were probably just like tough fighters, but now girls are out there, they're tough and they're skilled. And so it's kind of like you definitely need to know what you're doing and you need to show up. So I think that's kind of how it's evolved is like people are just getting more and more skilled. And there's going to be a lot of girls who start like from when they start walking and then they'll start competing in MMA right when they like turn 18. And so the skill is going to be insane. Cause I didn't start until I was 20. And so a lot of other girls like didn't start until they were like a little bit older. And so I think it's going to be awesome to watch all you little girls who started like when they could first walk. I think the fights are just going to keep getting better and better and more evolved and more skilled. What's up, Elosi? I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Almost. All right. Try to like spell it out in the comments. Aloisi. Alois? Well, I'm glad you're in the stream. The fight is on ESPN pay-per-view, but we're on the second to last fight. It just started. We have Impa versus Johnny Eblin. Eblin is a huge favorite, minus 400 on the betting. The E is Spanish, as a Spanish sound. You know, I took Spanish for 3 years, and you think I would like learn something, but I can basically only ask where the bathroom is, so. um, Impa may just shock the world. Let's see. It's not starting out super promising, but you never know. You never know. Someone said PFL fighters look like amateurs compared to the Bellator fighters. Don't say that. Oh, that was a nice little elbow by Evelyn. It's probably because PFL doesn't allow fighters to throw elbows. And so they haven't been practicing elbows for years. Maybe. I don't know. Mike says, I'm putting my daughter in jiu-jitsu when she's 4. That is so awesome. I wish I started when I was 4. And it's fun at that age because, like, they'll start, like, choking out little boys. How much time remains until the end of the match? We are 2 minutes into round 1, so still got 3 minutes for round 1. But my pay-per-view keeps skipping. Does anyone know why they're not doing 5-minute rounds? I'm glad they're not, because that would be an extremely long card. But does anyone know why? Oh, sorry. They're not doing 5 rounds. They're doing 5-minute rounds, but they're not doing 5 rounds. Why are they only doing 3 rounds if they're like champs? Is PFL better than UFC? Since PFL is getting destroyed by Bellator, I'm going to give that a no. PFL treats their fighters really well, from what I understand. And they pay them really well, from what I understand. But as far as skill-wise, UFC is still, I would say, the best. Oh, Jasmine versus Sam Hughes. Who do I have? So I was actually supposed to fight Sam Hughes at one point for LFA. And then I tore my knee and had to get surgery. And then she went into the UFC. So she's tough. I don't know Jasmine very well. But I don't know if Sam's been doing super hot in the UFC. So I'm going to say Jasmine. Craig says, I saw Kimbo Slice challenge another fighter. And it was 5-minute rounds during a whole match. What? Are you trying to go to the UFC or do you want to stay in the PFL? My ultimate goal is to fight in the UFC, but I will be sticking around with the PFL for at least another year. We'll see how that goes. But things can always change. You never know. You think Jasmine's going to knock out Sam? I mean, we'll see. Is Jasmine a good striker? I really don't know who she is at all. All right, second round starting. Okay. So my pay-per-view keeps skipping. It'll like go to the beginning of the fight and then it'll cut like 10 seconds behind. So I don't really know what's happening because it keeps like cutting back and forth. Oh. Ooh. Impa did just hurt Evelyn, from what I understand. Oh! I'll have to watch that fight then. Jasmine versus Sam Hughes. I think it would be interesting for me to watch since I was going to fight Sam. The thing about UFC is you have to put butts in seats to get paid. There's a skill. Their skill is different. You have a big following already. You could be in the UFC. Thank you. I mean, that's my goal. We'll see. I've like fought a few girls who are in the UFC currently, like Tracy Cortez, and I was gonna fight Sam Hughes. I've trained with like quite a few UFC fighters, so I think I'm like at that level. I just gotta work my way in there and get my record better because unfortunately I started out my pro career 1-3, and that really bit me in the butt for future fights. But I went 6-2 in my last 8. If you watched my last one, I would say 7-2 in my last 8, or 7-1 in my last 8. But I just have to keep building that up so I can get in there. Yes, I fought Brooke Mayo actually on Bellator. So I have had one Bellator fight before. That was my first professional win. How do you know Brooke Mayo? Oh, you were at that fight. That's cool. In San Jose, California. When is your next fight? It will be soon. I can't really say anything yet because the PFL hasn't announced it, but I'm going to say soon. Ryan Blakely says, you are attractive, and I hope you know if you ever want a husband, I'll be here. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for your service. Alex says, I'm working my way to my debut. Good luck with your debut. That will be awesome. Did you see the LFA Bulldog choke by Shannon Clark last night? Put the girl to sleep. I did see a highlight of it, and that looked gnarly. If none of you guys saw that, you should go to LFA's Instagram and look at the highlight. Shannon Clark put another girl to sleep, and she was out for like a good few seconds before the ref stopped it, and it looked bad because like the position she was in, you couldn't really tell if she was out or not, but it was bad. She was out. What's up, Jason? Mike says, I used to live in Venice, California. I trained with her for a few times in like 2016. That's cool. She hates me, so that's okay. I don't know what I did to her other than fight her, but I don't think she liked me before the fight either. So whatever. I'm sure we'd be friends if we actually trained together, but she doesn't like me. Jason said, are you surprised Kayla Harrison went to the UFC? No, I'm not surprised at all. I feel like she belongs in the UFC. I think it'll be good. Jesse says, is it on ESPN? I've been under a rock all day. Yes, there's a pay-per-view on ESPN, and we are on the second round of the co-main event, and it's just ending. So there's only a fight and a round left. So, Emily says, hey, you're absolutely amazing, totally inspiring. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate you. What's my dream fight? My dream fight is Paige Van Zandt. I want to fight her. I think that'll be fun. Can Kayla make 135? Yeah, I'm sure she'll make 135. I think she's a good enough professional. Like, she's an Olympic gold medalist. She is a PFL former champion. She is like a professional. I don't think she's going to take a fight at 135 thinking that she's not going to make weight. I think she's going to do everything in her power to actually like cut the weight, diet, and get there. I don't think she is unprofessional enough to accept a fight that she wouldn't make the weight at. Frank says, is it ever personal? Is whatever personal, like fights? I think some fights get personal. I've never had a fight that's personal before. So I've never fought a girl that I'm like, I hate this girl. But also I don't really hate a lot of people. So I don't know. Fighting for me? No, it's not personal. It's more of like a competitive sport. Fighting for other people, I'm sure, has been personal in the past. Has anyone ever picked a fight during weigh-in? Not with me, no. No one's ever really even like gotten in my face or done anything funny either. So I'm waiting for that to happen. I don't think there's like a point in picking a fight at weigh-ins. It's like you're literally going to fight each other the next day. So why would you pick a fight at weigh-ins? JR6439 said I trained with Paige in SAC. That would be a fun fight with you. Yeah, that's cool that you trained with her. She interviewed me for my last fight, and she like has commentated for my fights on the PFL. So I've met her a couple of times, but I think it'd be really fun to fight her. All right. So Avery said, the situation with the topless girl on Tough was straight bonkers. Glad you didn't take it personal. So for those of you who don't know, they cut this part out and made us redo it. This is the only time they ever had us like redo something for The Ultimate Fighter. But when I was doing a face-off with Helen, she took her shirt off and she was only wearing X's, like little tape, over her nipples. And I was like, what on earth? And I was just like trying to keep eye contact. I was like, I'm not looking down. This is not throwing me off. And I like tried to keep a straight face. And I was like, what is happening? And then she started like shaking and she started yelling at me. And I was like, this is weird. And I was like, I've never had this before. I guess that's the most someone's ever gotten in my face during weigh-ins. And so she just had tape over her nipples. She was shaking and yelling at me. And I was like, just like stone face, like didn't react at all. And then I turned around, did my little Katniss thing, and then walked off. And I was like, what just happened? That was so odd. But I guess since Disney recently bought like ESPN or something, they had to redo it so it would be more family appropriate. But yeah, that was kind of a funny little behind the scenes thing. Bet you weren't too sad to see Sean Strickland be a one-time champion. Is that really his personality? I think what you see Sean Strickland online is definitely his personality. He is a little punk, and he's kind of like an internet troll in real life. Like, he comes up to you and actually says things that are really mean. And I don't even know if he's like trying to be mean or if he's just like brutally honest, but he's kind of funny in that way. I was actually sad that he lost that fight because I didn't like Dricus du Plessis. And so I wanted Sean to actually win that fight. And that was the only fight I've ever like rooted for Sean in. So whatever. That's what I get for rooting for someone, because all of my picks are always bad. But I fight Paige Van Zandt in bare knuckle. No, I'm not doing bare knuckle. I think MMA is as crazy as I get. You know, there's a line I'm going to draw. I will not do bare knuckle. I already broke my hand once in an MMA fight. Don't want to do it again. I don't know if you can even see. There's like a scar right there. Got 30 seconds left of the co-main event, and Eblem, I'm going to say, is the winner by decision. What happens if you got caught using plaster in your gloves? You probably wouldn't be able to fight. I don't know. I never thought about that. I am not a dirty fighter. I play by the rules. I don't know. Ooh, Impa is landing some mean little elbows from the back position. Huh. That was interesting. I wish the PFL would let us throw elbows. What made you want to do fight and not school? I actually do have a bachelor's degree. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in community health. I was doing MMA fights, amateur MMA fights on the weekends, and I was going to school the next week with like black eyes and just acting like it was completely normal while I got my degree. I did it a little bit slower, so I split it up into like 3 semesters. So I did fall semester, spring semester, and then I did summer. And then I would just do like a lower amount of credits. And so it took me like 5 years to get my degree, but I was training MMA full time. So I did both. Would I box? No. I like kicking too much. I would do like a kickboxing fight or a Muay Thai fight, but just boxing, probably not. Mike Scott says he wouldn't do bare knuckle either. Bro, please don't. Your face is nice the way it is. Bare knuckle is wild. Yeah, it looks absolutely insane. Like, sometimes the fighters like leave the fight and their face is like destroyed. And I'm like, why do you want to do this? Unless it's like a ginormous paycheck, like I do not see the draw. Lemon says, it's my first time on millions.co. You heard about it from me. You are the first fighter that I followed on the website. Thanks. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're following me. There's a bunch of other fun fighters on there too, and so you'll get notifications when they go live and do live streams and when they drop merch. So make sure you follow all your favorite fighters and athletes, and of course you're following me, so thank you. And you'll be notified anytime I do something fun. Are there aspects of the sport that you think are often misunderstood by the general public? Yeah, I think like MMA, like people think it's like human cockfighting, where I don't think of it that way at all. I think of it as a sport. It's competitive. You're trying to beat the other person. Yeah, injuries happen, but it's not like, I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as like human cockfighting. I just think it's more of like warriors fighting in a cage and it's a sport. I don't know. I think it's Definitely it was misunderstood maybe in the earlier days, but now that there's more like rules and regulations, I think more of the general public are starting to just think of it more as a sport, and they're getting more invested into it. When bigger and bigger names come out, like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, and like John Jones, like stuff like that, like people are starting to realize that it's a sport and not necessarily just like this weird, like nasty thing that people do. Mike Scott said you do bare knuckle for 2.5 mil. All right, sold. Bare knuckle came to Utah like a few months ago. We'll see who wins. Oh, a split decision. Evelyn wins. I'm surprised it was split, but Evelyn won. All right, Bellator is 5-0 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 for the main card. PFL is not doing so hot. Can Renan Ferreira beat Ryan Bader in the main event? We will see. Tyler says, random question. What type of strike or submission hurts most in the moment? I would say strike, just because you're like kind of like getting like hit or flashed. Submissions is just more like uncomfortable, like your bone is about to break or like you're getting choked or something. So I would say striking is more uncomfortable. Who wins, Renan or Ryan? I'm gonna say Ryan Bader's gonna win. Bellator is gonna do a complete sweep. Oh no. Interesting speech. Okay. Chill Master, what's up? Welcome. Hey, Kaytlin, placing any bets this time? No, I'm not placing any bets, and good thing I didn't, because I probably would have picked PFL fighters. Oh, that's embarrassing. I think Bellator is extremely top heavy. What do you mean by that? Greg versus Bob. You should watch the last minutes of 1994 fight between Billy Collins and Luis Resto. Why is that? Avery says Bellator sweep. Arthur says no way. The worst pain is when you are on bottom and the opponent pinches the back of your arm with their knee. Arthur, you're sounding like you have personally experienced that. Avery says, which did you enjoy more? Arthur said from you. What? I would never do that. Accidentally pinch the back of your arm with my knee. That's not something I would do. I would also never accidentally drop an elbow or a punch in a jiu-jitsu turn or a jiu-jitsu round. Avery says, which do you enjoy more, fighting for Bellator or for the PFL? I'm going to say PFL. Bellator was fun. Like, I thought it was, like, awesome. That was my first time ever in, like, a big promotion, and so that was really cool. They gave me, like, per diem, and I was like, per diem? What is this? You're paying for my food for the week? And I was, like, so excited. And then they had you do, like, photo shoots and stuff like that, which I hadn't done with any of the local promotions at that point. So Bellator was really fun. Loved it. They didn't want me anymore. They brought me in to lose, but I won. And so I think they're upset with me. And so they're like, see you later. And they didn't sign me, as I thought that was kind of weird. And then PFL, I really like the PFL because it's like they really care about other fighters. They have treated me really well. They like really promote me. So I don't know. I really like PFL. But I liked also fighting for Bellator, but I'm glad they're combined now because then you get the best of both worlds, right? Bob is looking awesome today. Yes, he is. He's a handsome guy for sure. This Bob. Ugh. I'm heading to Vegas tomorrow, and I'm not bringing Bob with me, so it'll be so sad without him for 5 weeks. But I am bringing Potato with me. She gets to come this time. Has anyone tipped their athlete? What do you mean? Do you see Bellator fighters joining the tournaments? Yes. I do know that Bellator fighters are going to be joining tournaments. How many fights are left on the card? We have the main event, Renan Ferreira versus Ryan Bader. And so far, all of Bellator's champions have destroyed the PFL champions. So, I think the last fight, Impa versus Johnny Eblin, was the closest one, and it was a split decision. But the rest have been either stoppages or pretty unanimous. Who do you think wins heavyweight? I'm going to say Ryan Bader. He is the favorite on the betting cards. Oh, yeah, Arthur, feel free to tip me. And then maybe I'll have enough money to buy one of your rash guards. Arthur always tries to sell me his rash guards. They're actually pretty freaking sweet. Are you gambling in Vegas? Black 6 is going to hit. No, I will not be gambling. You guys have seen my picks. I am awful. Do you think some of these should have been 5 rounds? I'm just surprised that they're not, because they're a champion fight. So it's like, why are they not 5 rounds? Why are they 3 rounds? But can you imagine how long the card would be if they were all 25 minutes long? That would be so long. I remember PFL had a fight card that I did a live stream on. And I think I was on the live stream for like 5 or 6 hours. And I was going insane. Like, I was like trying to like move around, and like my hip was cramping. And I'm like, I cannot sit here any longer. I'm so used to like moving around so much that sitting that long was like so hard for me. So I'm glad they didn't, but at the same time, I'm like kind of confused why they're not. Even the main event isn't going to be 5 rounds. All right, Ryan Bader's walking out to the smart cage. Bader's the underdog? No, he looks like he's the favorite. CBS Sports is what I'm looking at. He's a minus 105. Oh, no, never mind. Renan Ferreira is minus 115. Ooh, we'll see if Renan Ferreira can beat Ryan Bader. Good catch. Good catch. Bye, Arthur. Thanks for hopping on. Bader has this locked. Uh-oh. Who are you guys going for? Ferreira or Bader? I really want PFL. I just want like one person from the PFL to win, you know? Oh. Get a perm and do 90s glamour shot pics. What an idea. You know, I've had perms in the past, and it fried my hair off, and I will not do that anymore. It's taken so long to grow my hair out. What do you guys think about the arena that PFL is fighting in right now? It looks like it is insane. It looks like the arena from Spider-Man 1. Jason says, I've attended one MMA event, Bellator 297. There was a power issue in the gym, so they did some prelims after the live show. It ended at 1 a.m. Chicago time. We left after the main card. Crazy. That would suck so bad for those fighters who were fighting on the prelims, because you get so amped up. You get to the arena and you know you're going to fight soon, and then just having to wait until after the entire card and fighting at like 12 a.m. That would be awful. Oh, that would be so awful. Greg versus Bob says, have you ever bruised your knuckle punching something hard? Yes. I've literally broken my hand punching someone in a fight before. I won the fight, but I broke my hand. By the end of 2024, if you can name 5 athletes that you would like to see join Millions, who would they be and why? 5 athletes. Amanda Nunes, because it'd be fun to watch her do live streams. She's really funny. And then Court McGee, I think he would be a really interesting live stream because he can talk an ear off, and he's really good at it. Let's see, who else would be fun? Rose Namajunas, just because I like her. I'm a big fan. Oh, Ferreira already dropped Bader. Oh, PFL did it. They got one. Yay. Renan Ferreira pulls through for the PFL. Wasn't a clean sweep. 20 seconds. Yikes. Well. PFL pulled through. Yay. 5-1. Bellator versus PFL. Oh, that's exciting. That was a nice overhand. Sweet. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to my live stream. I will be tuning in again. I'll be doing a live stream again, March 9th for UFC 299. And so come hang out with me then. It'll be fun. I'll be in Vegas training hard for a fight. And so I'll talk more about that. and I'm sure it'll be announced by then, so it should be good. Other than that, make sure you follow me on Millions if you're watching on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, so you don't miss any of my live streams or merch drops. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for hopping on, and I'll catch you on the next one. We'll end TikTok first. Bye, Jason. Bye, Mark. Bye, Scott. Bye, Elmer. Elmer, I didn't even know you were on. You didn't even chat once. All right. See you guys later.